want to tell you a little bit about how we teach Greek at St Andrews and about the sorts of modules you can expect to take during your time here.
In the Greek programme, in the first 2 years, we read a huge variety of texts. In your second semester of your first year, you'd be reading Longus, Daphnis and Chloe, Book 1.
I've never been in a Latin or a Greek module which has had more than 15 people in the class.
Daphnis and Chloe is one of the first novels in European literature. It's a pastoral love story of two teenagers. Important themes in this are the development of love and the adaptation of the two protagonists to their gender roles. And these two themes generate a huge amount of discussion in the class because they're still important themes in people's lives today.
It means you have a really personal connection with your tutor. They know you very well from your first year up to your fourth year, and they can really help you from one assignment to the next, which does help you develop as a classicist, as a student, and really does help you achieve better marks.
Many people who come here are complete beginners with no prior knowledge of the language, while others have studied Greek at school for a number of years. And the range of teaching that we offer is designed to cater for both types of cohort.
So my favourite thing about studying Latin and Greek at St Andrews has to do with the honours modules. In St Andrews, in the last 2 years, you enter what's called honours, which is where things get a bit more specialist and in-depth. And in St Andrews, this means that all the classes are researcher-led, meaning that you're always being taught by the experts and discussions are getting really in-depth and the readings are really high quality.
For those of you who haven't studied Greek before, in your first year at St Andrews you take beginners modules in the language, which involve 4 weekly classes. From the start there's an emphasis on using the language in class, with students encouraged to gain experience in speaking it, as well as reading and writing it.
When I first came to St Andrews, I was intending to do a German degree, but after my first semester of doing the Ancient Greek Beginner's Language course, I very quickly realised that was actually where I wanted to spend my 4 years. I had the most fantastic time in that class. We had such an enthusiastic lecturer, and it was also a really small class.
For those of you who have taken Greek before, as well as continuing to learn the language, there's also a focus from the start on literary analysis.
So everyone had the opportunity to really speak up and ask any of their questions, have their questions answered, and just really to also interact with each other. You know, classics is quite a small department in terms of the number of students that it has, so it's really important that you kind of get to know your peers.
There's so much flexibility. You really get a chance to choose what you want to study and to sort of shine in your own interests, really.
And I also talk to my students about the history of how we've got the textbook that we're working from via papyri, medieval manuscripts, and early modern editions and translations. And at St Andrews, we're lucky enough to have special collections library with papyrus fragments and some early modern editions, including Daphnis and Chloe.
You'll read, for example, a play by the comic poet Menander from the 4th century BC, some poems written in the Doric dialect by the 3rd century Sicilian poet Theocritus, and a Greek novel from the Roman imperial period.
Studying Greek at the university for me has been a unique, immersive and above all engaging learning experience, not only because of the vast diversity of Greek texts and authors that one can study at the university, particularly obscure philosophical works by Plato and new fragments of the New Comedy, but also delving deeper into the exciting Greek novel, but also because I adore the linguistic aspect, such as learning the nuts and bolts of Greek grammar and syntax. The language consolidation classes run by Dr. Juan Sancho Kadesh have been really inspiring ways to encourage us to communicate and write in the classics.
The teaching of classics at St Andrews so far this year has been great, with the Latin and Greek grammar classes actually being taught in Latin and Ancient Greek, so that has definitely been unique.
Νυν διαλέγω μαΐ χελενιστή, διότι μόι μάλιστα αρέσκει την αρχαίαν χελενικήν γλώταν, νομίτζειν ζώσαν γλώταν έιναι, ου μόνον εις το γράφειν, αλλά καί εις το διαλέγεσθαι. Δια τούτο εϊβούλεσθε την αρχαίαν χελενικήν γλώταν εν θα δε μαθαίν, φιλτάτους χυμάστε εξόμεθα. Χαριν διδομήχιν.
As you come to the end of the degree, you'll also have the chance to write a dissertation on a topic related to Greek language and literature. This means you have the freedom to pick a topic that reflects your own interests, and you'll be assigned an expert in a related topic as your supervisor, who'll be able to talk through your ideas with you one-on-one and offer guidance as you start down your own path as an independent researcher.
And I think it's the best decision I ever made to come here. So, you know, I think you'd be making the right decision if you did that as well. So, yeah, choose St Andrews. It's great.